closing half-Persian 4-in-1 in stretchy rings. I've woven this chain using 3 blue rubber rings at the beginning and 3 white rubber rings at the end of where we were working. So, I'm also using separate colored rings for each of the steps to close it. Now, the first step is to stack it the way all the other rubber rings also stack. Then we take the first ring to close it with. I'm going to go for green on this. And you want to go from the back to the front, like we also did when adding all of the other ones, all of the extra rubber rings during the chain. Go from the back to the front, through the first of the rings from the start, so the first blue one, and then through the last white one, and then you loop it back and you pass it through the other 2 white ones. This will feel very familiar because this is basically the same movement you've been making while lengthening the chain to this point. So close this ring, then I'm going to, we'll leave a mark. There we are. So now tidy it up a bit. You will feel that it wants to twist a little bit. It will. So next I take a champagne ring. That one I pass through the 2 first rings. And if observant chain makers may note that I am passing it on the wrong side of the rings at the start of the chain, but that's okay, we can move it to the other side later. So pass it through 2, from back to the front, and then front to the back, pass it through the 2 last rubber rings that you added. So this one is exactly in the center. And as you can see, we can still maneuver it to where it's supposed to be, so that it will all stack together nicely. So these are the 2 easier ones. The last one is a little bit more tricky. There we go. So, make sure everything stacks correctly. So, the light bronze one goes behind the existing gold rings. Now, if you've been paying attention, you will know that we want to put it through those in one direction, through the second and third ring from the start of the chain, from the back to the front, and then we'll want to loop it back, front to the back, into the last rubber ring from the chain and the first rubber ring in the chain. However, these rings are in our way. I mean, we could try to put it in there, etc. It doesn't work that way. An easier way would be to corkscrew it in. So this is your leading point, and we start with front to the back through the last rubber ring, so the last white one, and the first rubber ring, the first blue one. Then we turn the chain so we see the other side, and then we want to go through first there. Do you see it? Alright, so this is like I said, this one is a little finicky, especially because it wants to go through that gold ring, and we want it to stack like that. You can feel a bit of resistance at this point because it is trying to push against itself a little bit, But at this point you can close it. Now I'm going to pull it out and do it again. With these things, always take your time. So, first, make sure everything is stacked properly. So, the first of the gold ones goes on top of this light bronze one. Take the last, the closing ring, you want to pass it through these two only. You don't immediately pass it through the next blue ring. You want to pass it through this one first, and then through that one. There you are. And finally, you want to make sure that it stacks, that it is stacked with those, and the whole stack continues down the chain before you close it. So this is the one that's most likely to give you headaches. It is going to do all kinds of annoying things. It's going to go through this one, you're gonna want to pass it through 3 up and then 1 down. That's also going to look a little weird. You will know it is right when you see the stack continues. And if it's not right, that's okay. Just pull it apart and try it again. We're doing this to learn, and you can't learn by rushing. Alright. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helps.